Hello there, my name's Anne Cooper. I'm the National Clinical Lead for Nursing at the Department of Health Informatics Directorate. I just wanted to talk to you today about social media and its use in nursing and in healthcare in general. So what do I mean by social media? What is it that I'm actually talking about? Social media is an evolution in the way that we can communicate using something called Web 2. And it includes lots of things that you've probably heard of, things like Facebook, Twitter, blogging and YouTube. And all of those things I think have interesting potential for nurses. Why do I think we need to engage with social media? Well, I think the patients and families who we care for actually are engaging with social media. So at the very least, I think we need to understand the world that they're living in. But I think it has more exciting potential than that, and I think it has lots of opportunities for us as professionals to use social media for professional purposes. So how did I get involved in social media? I've been on Facebook for quite a long time, and I'm incurably sociable and like to stay in contact with people. So I've had a Facebook account for quite a long time, but I'm very aware that I don't invite people from work to be my friends there. It's my social and family space. I make sure that my security settings are set so that I can be sociable with my family and friends there. But I was introduced to Twitter by a friend at work, actually, a colleague at work who said to me, "You really must get involved in Twitter." So I actually went onto Twitter and thought, I don't get this. I really don't understand what this has to offer to me, and I think that was one of my first learning points, really, that social media isn't instantaneous. It's something that you need to learn how to use, and you have to find the space where you feel comfortable. So I created an account on Twitter and I started lurking. Lurking is a Twitter term which means that you watch what everybody else is doing for a while. But then, because of the nature of me, I started to want to engage with other professionals on there, so I started tweeting. One of the things that I think is quite important about social media is that it's a very personal thing, in that you really need to have a personality. So there was a point at which I decided I wanted to be a professional on social media, but that I actually needed to be me. I needed to have a way of being me in social media on Twitter. So eventually, over time, I've found a way of being a professional, being me, and being able to be myself and have a personality. I think that it's an absolutely fantastic way of staying up to date. One of the things that I say to people about it is that I know things before my boss, which is fantastic. So when there's major announcements made about the health services or about nursing, generally Twitter knows about it before anybody else. But I think there are some pitfalls, there are some things that you need to be aware of. I would recommend that you looked at the NMC guidelines for using social media to give you the professional context. If you're going to declare that you're a nurse on Twitter or in any social media, you need to be aware of those guidelines. Be clear why you're there. Be clear what it is that you're doing there. If you want to be there on Twitter or on any social media, in a Facebook forum, wherever, as a professional nurse, you need to understand that you are being a professional in the same way that you're being a nurse in any other setting. I'd say don't give up. Give it time. Ask for advice from other people. That's one of the really, really positive things about social media. It's a very sharing environment where, particularly on Twitter, if you ask a question, somebody will try and help you. If you do just lurk, that's fine, and you don't have to be on all of these social media all of the time. You can find a way that works for you. I'm on it all the time because I love it, and it's part of my job really to stay professionally up to date. But equally, if you want to go on once a week just to find out what's going on more generally, that's fine too. Find a way that works for you. Engage with people. So if you're a specialist nurse in dermatology, I will guarantee that there are other specialist nurses on there, and you might well find that the thought leaders in your particular specialty are in some form of social media, and they will talk to you. Social media is inherently about communication. I think finally what I would like to say is I think we need to be more aware of what social media might do for us in the way that we engage with our patients and clients. I think we have to become more sophisticated as professionals in the way that we use these new forms of communication. There is massive potential for us to use these communication channels to provide care and to communicate with people in new ways. I'm just not sure that we understand how we're going to do that yet, but as professionals we should be taking up that leadership challenge. There's some fantastic work that's going on currently in the NHS Institute, and they're exploring how social media can support some of our work. I would just encourage you to have a go and get involved. Thank you.